Good morning and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kendi Boduri. Well, it's a brand new day bringing fresh stories shaping Nigeria and beyond. We will kick off today's newspaper review before diving into the main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment from this. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Joining us to share the matters at hand is Opeoluwa Taiwo. He is a public affairs analyst and is also joining us virtually. You're welcome, sir, and thank you for being on our show today.
Yeah, good morning. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Opeoluwa. All right, let's get right into it. So we have our newspapers, and we're going to be taking the Guardian newspaper. So on the top strip, we have NNPCL vows to revive refineries shops for $60 billion to expand capacity. We also have you can't intimidate us, or show workers tell FG over withheld LG funds. Still on the top strip of the Guardian newspaper, we have 2027. I am not leaving NNPP, but open to discussion, say Kwankwaso. And on the big story here, we have surge in unruly fan conduct match day violence purge, NPFL in crisis. We also have more stories here, but I would like us to just take this story, which has to do with the 2027. I am not leaving NNPP, but open to discussions, says Kwakwaso. Now, Opeoluwa, we know that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso has shut down rumors of leaving the NNPP ahead of 2027 elections, and he says he's committed to the party but open to discussions with other political actors. You know, he also stressed that any talks will be a collective NNPP decision. Now, this move reinforces his influence in Kanu while keeping NNPP central to opposition politics. Now, Opeoluwa Taiwo, how will let's start with this. Why is Rabi Musa Kwankwaso insisting on staying with the NNPP despite speculations of him leaving? Can you hear me?
That's a wonderful question. You know, Nigeria politicians, Nigerian political leaders, they are well known to be indecisive when it comes to pushing their narrative, their political pattern, and their indecision is intentional. So what does that mean? They are intentional in deceiving the people. They are intentional in blackmailing the emotion of the masses. They are intentional in gaslighting the masses. Apparently, when two elephants are on the battlefield, it is obvious that the grass will suffer. There are thousands of members of NNPP who have never benefited anything from Kwankwaso being their political leader. So coming against 2027, saying that you are still in NNPP and open to discussion, it's like you are trying to play into the gallery of Barisanyism Wike, the current FCT minister, who is currently in PDP, but is dancing as a masquerade in APC. So what does that mean? This shows to you that our political leaders lack merit when it comes to ideology, when it comes to system and consistency in building structure in their political party. Kwankwaso is known to be a political figure in Kano State. But what is Kwankwaso in Southwest? What is Kwankwaso in Southeast? What is Kwankwaso in South-South? Those are the questions we should be asking. So I know he's a former governor of Kano State. There's no doubt about that. But beyond being a state governor, what structure does he have in Abuja? What structure does he have in Lagos State? What structure does he have in Borno State? Don't forget, he was also in PDP and he was also in APC. before he decided to jump the gun into NNPP. And when he got to NNPP, he was also seen as somebody who decided to oppress whoever is supposed to be the presidential candidate. And he hijacked the party. And now he's telling us that he's open to another discussion. So what kind of discussion? Is it political discussion? Is it economic discussion? Is it infrastructural discussion? Is it ideological discussion? Those are the next question which you ask Rabiu Kwankwaso. You know, it was, I could remember some times ago at his, I could remember maybe 62nd birthday or thereabout in one of the biggest hotels in Lagos State. You know, some of us who were privileged to be there on that day when he was a senator, and we saw that, you know, for a leader who wants to govern Nigeria, there are legality and technicality you have to put in place. If those things are not there, you don't play politics on the pages of newspaper. So I believe Kwankwaso has to go back home and go back on the drawing board and see what he has done so far. Though he has done well for himself, to be candid to him. He has done well for himself in Kano, but I don't know about that in Ogun State, and I don't know about that in Borno State. Neither do I know about that in Enugu State. That's another conversation. So let's see what he can offer or what he has offered nationally before talking about open discussion.
Know this whole thing. So I feel Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has a whole lot to tell us. Just like what you said, the discussion, you still have a lot to discuss with us. All right, so we would quickly look at another story on the Guardian newspaper, and this is FG approves lifetime salary for retiring senior officers. You know, Okoyemi, Opoluwataiwo, I beg your pardon. When I saw this story, I'm like, okay, do you think they deserve it? Let's start with that. Do you think this call, they deserve it, this senior retiring senior officers, do you think they deserve this money?
You know, when you talk about retiring office holder, we are talking about, basically we are looking at the civil servants. All right, we are looking at the civil servant, and if we are looking at the civil servant, you know, for you to rise from maybe grade 8 or grade 9 to grade 17, it's not a joke. So it takes years of experience and what have you. And I believe there is a policy in place in some states in terms of lifetime salary, especially for PS, that is the permanent secretaries. You know, because in Nigeria, for you to become a permanent secretary, you are like equivalent to a commissioner. All right, because you are the governor of that ministry. So if you are the governor of that ministry, then it's expedient that some package should be allocated to that office. Because one of the reasons why I believe that policy is being initiated and upgraded at the national level is because at any point in time, as a permanent secretary or a former permanent secretary, the government is liable to call you for any board meeting, for any committee, for any commission, at any point in time, as long as you are still alive. Why? Because of your wealth of experience, because of your exposure, because of your generational stability within the system. Because a man who has spent over 30 years in a particular ministry, there's nothing you want to say to him or her in that ministry that he or she will not be able to give you answer.
Sure.
Whether it's in finance, whether it's in admin, whether it's in audit, whether it's in procurement, whether it's in store departments, whether it's in the bureaucratic processes. There's nothing you want to tell him that he's not aware of. He has gotten the experience, practical experience, theoretical experience, academic experience, and professional experience. So those capacity, you can't buy it in the market.
At all.
You can't even buy it in Harvard University.
Yeah.
So many people have attended Harvard University, but they are failing in their personal business. Because there's something we call environmental factor in business, in organizational structure. So if you have studied in Harvard University and you do not have the environmental structure to govern a particular business in Nigeria, you will fail fantastically. It doesn't matter wherever you have gotten your PhD from or your master's from. So I think it's not a bad idea from the federal government to have a lifetime salary for them. It now depends on the value they are bringing to the table. Value is very important in 21st century. If you are not bringing value on the table, such a salary is a waste of time and energy. Wow. So that is my position on that.
All right, thank you. Very well said, and it was well detailed. Okay, let's just quickly go to the next newspaper. We have Daily Trust, and the big story on Daily Trust is universities head for strike. We also have why Barrow Port is still ideal for 6 years after commissioning reps panel. We also have Kwankwaso ACF decry Alabarago market demolition. We also have 420,000 Nigerian children at risk of malnutrition this year. And the last but not the least, on Daily Trust, we have FGI's passport fees second time in 1 year. Now, please, I want us to look at this, the big story on the Daily Trust, which is universities head for strike, because I feel this story is really disturbing, and for the fact that we still have, we are looking at, these students. Some of them they are even thriving, and some of them are even struggling because of when it comes to like school fees, paying of their tuition fee. It's not easy, and we're also looking at those that are even more of like the let's say the undergraduates or those that are yet to gain admission into the university. And now we're hearing universities in Nigeria are once again on the brink of a strike, right? And so I just want you to just pour out your mind on this story. Why is there still confusion over whether the FG and ASU truly signed the 2021 agreement? I think I should. Did you get that?
Okay. All right. So
there's an agreement.
Education is light. Education is the focus of the children, of the youths, especially in Africa. If the African continent or Africa as a continent want to beat the other part of the world, one of the basic tools you can use or instrument is education. Now, education in any part of the world is never cheap. Education is expensive. Like a speaker once said, if you think education is expensive or knowledge is expensive, why don't you try ignorance? Because ignorance itself is a deadly disease. So when we talk about education in Nigeria, it's beyond just the universities. It's beyond the tertiary institution. What about the primary? What about the secondary? What about other post-basic education in Nigeria? There are a lot of fundamental structural decay and fundamental gap that has been created in the Nigerian educational system. And mind you, those gaps were not created by government alone. It was also created by the lecturers themselves, by the university management themselves. So what do I mean? I run an SDG organization, an NGO in Africa called Africa Bridge Initiative. And currently we are partnering with a UK-based university in terms of global research for our students and young ones in Nigeria. So the first thing I discover in that particular university is that I see that they have built a structure within that university whereby the alumni, the public sector, and the corporate private sector, they are also giving back into the institution. And that makes the institution to run seamlessly. with or without the government. So what does that mean? Our leaders in the educational sector, especially the lecturers, the university management, the vice chancellors, when are we going to stand on our own? As the University of Abuja, as the University of Ife, as OOU, as Lagos State University, as the University of Lagos, when are you guys going to start staying or living or feeding on your own? When you are basically on theoretical part as an academic institution, then you will be completely subservient to the government. Where is our digital education? Where is our technology education? Where is our vocational education? You know, going on strike is never the solution. I've said it before. Going on strike is never the solution. So, where is the solution? The solution is within the campus of every Nigerian university. I mean, the solution is within the campuses. As of today, how many university or polytechnic in Nigeria can boast of producing cassava, can boast of producing palm oil? I could remember I was in the secondary school in Ogun State, all right?
Yeah.
I was, to be precise, I was in a secondary school in Ogun State, and I can remember when growing up, each of the students has a farmland. We had a farmland. So every morning, every student, before going to the class, you take care of your farm for about 1 hour. And during the long break, every student, apart from other extra coaching classes, every student is expected to maintain their farm within the school. So those schools were self-sufficient. But history has overridden that. Events has overtaken that. Everyone is now running to Lagos. Everyone is now running to the city. To do what? AI is taking over the market globally. How many of our institutions in Nigeria is offering BSc, MSc, or MBA in AI? Let's start with that. Because with AI, even before you finish school, you have started making money. And you're also making money even for the school. How many of our universities are ready to be intentional, to be disciplined about the research grants that was given to them? It's not about just going on strike. The government has their own blame. But as today, for me, I'm not pushing the blame to the government. You can't just be waking up every day, pushing responsibility out. Let every university in Nigeria, let every polytechnic in Nigeria, when you go into every campus in Nigeria, you see vast land, vacant land for 10 years, for 10, 20 years. What is the meaning of those land? What are you doing with those land? Can't we develop aeronautic engineers within those land? Can't we develop fintech within those land? Can't we develop organic agriculture within those land? What is the meaning of those virgin land? What are we doing with virgin land in the university? What is the land meant for? Let every Nigerian take responsibility. You are looking for the government. No politician can develop Nigeria. I repeat, no politician can develop Nigeria. We must be ready, intentional, to develop our country, especially the educational sector. So I'm pushing it back to university lecturers, to the vice chancellors, to the professors. I'm pushing it back to them. Let them wake up. Wake up to your responsibility. These children are your children. They are not just your students. They are your children. The future lies with you. Take over the responsibility and the future will be sustainable. That is my position.
Responsibility and the future will be secured. Well, I believe that the change begins with us, and you know, when there is a change, definitely the world will be a happy place. All right, so thank you so much, Opoluwa Taiwo. Right now, okay, right now when we return, Nigeria Immigration Service hikes passport fees starting September 1. Just stay tuned. And when we return, Opoluwa is still here to take the main conversation with us. Okay, please calm down when they are ready. Oh, okay. All right, we're still on Enterprise Friday, and yes, it's time for us to take our main conversation. The Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, has announced an increase in passport application fees effective September 1, 2025. According to a statement released by the Service Public Relations Officer, Akinshola Akinlabi, the reversed charges apply only to applications processed within Nigeria. Under the new structure, a 32-page passport with 5-year validity will now cost 100,000 naira, while the 64-page version with 10-year validity will be 200,000 naira. Previously, these were priced at 50,000 naira and 100,000 naira respectively, following earlier increasement from 35,000 naira and 70,000 naira. Now, despite the changes for local applications, the NIS confirmed that passport fees for Nigerians living abroad will remain the same. Diaspora applicants will continue to pay $150 for a 32-page passport valid for 5 years and $230 for a 64-page passport with 10-year validity. The service stated that the fee adjustment aims to maintain the quality, integrity, and efficiency of passport services while ensuring they remain as accessible to the public. Now, however, the fee hike has sparked criticism from many Nigerians who see it as insensitive given the country's current economic challenges. Now, citizens across various sectors have expressed concern over the timing and impact of the increase, arguing that it places an added burden on ordinary Nigerians already struggling with rising cost and inflation. Wow. In fact, this story is, I see it as a very, it's disturbing, and I don't want to use the word powerful, because for the fact that we are still struggling with, cost of living, then increasing the price of passports. In fact, it's really an issue that needs to be looked into. So Opoluwa Taiwo, you're still with us. Thank you so much for joining as always. And I just want to throw this question to you. Now, is the Minister of Interior, that Tunji Ojo, extorting Nigerians? Let's hear from you. Do you think there's an extortion in this story?
All right. The Federal Minister of Interior, as headed by Mr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, is a technocrat. Is an IT guru. All right. So he has a background in technology. He has been building some seamless software and the rest for different organizations, both within and outside the country, before he was drafted into that ministry. So he's a man that knows his onions when it comes to technology, in terms of the governance structure. All right.
Yes.
Apparently, I will be speaking to these prices from the two angles.
Please do.
The first angle will be from the technology, innovation, and development. The second angle will be from the angle of politics and political capacity. The international passports, the current green passport of Nigeria under the Nigerian Immigration Service. We understand that as of today, we are having a technologically improved passport, that is the e-passport. So the question is, how come the sudden increase in the price? Do we know, or can we have the figure in terms of production? Can we have the figure in terms of production? What is the figure for each production? You know, to be sincere with you, each time we have technological improvement in Nigeria, the next thing that will come to your mind is price increase. We must take that from Nigeria, especially Nigerian leaders. You know, Nigerian leaders does not look at sustainability of any program. The first thing they're looking at is either I am improving on this program, on this project, on this policy, because of my name or because of my administration. None of them is looking at the sustainability of the improvement, especially on the technology. So I am not totally against the price increase, but what I am rightly saying to the Nigerian government, especially to the Minister of Interior, is that if you are not a minister, if you are not part of the ruling class, if you are part of the masses, how do you expect an average Nigerian student, an average youth in Nigeria, an average citizen to get 100,000 naira to do an international passport without corruption? That's where we should start from. How do you expect them to get this kind of money without corruption, without stealing? Now we are talking about 64 pages of 200,000 naira. Is he a man that is earning 70,000 naira? For instance, if an NYC holder, an NYC corp member just finished serving Nigeria and is about to go for masters abroad or to do one or two things for a conference outside the country, you are asking him or her to lose 100,000 or to lose 400,000. Is it from the same 70,000 that you are paying in every month that will be able to get 200,000 just to get passports? And after getting the passport, you now start the rigorous process of paying $100 or $200 to apply for visa. Now, let's look at all of these costs. Let's look at the angle of the consumers, that is the citizen. All of this price increase must be thoroughly tamed to the merest minimum, because it will lead to corruption.
Definitely.
That is one thing we must look at. It will lead to corruption, because everyone will be looking for a way to cut short the process in order to get this kind of money. All right?
Yeah.
If a student just finished school and he has a program or an exchange program, maybe for instance in Ghana or for instance in South Africa, you're asking the parent.
Are you still there?
But beyond that also, yes, but beyond that also, we must also ask ourselves, are we ready to pay the price of the
Okay. Apollo, are you still there? Oh, I think we were having are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, we lost you
for the immigration, increasing the price of the international passport. For me, it has two legs. Like I've said earlier, I've talked about the technology and innovation. And don't forget also, anything that has to do with technology, especially in a third world country, it's always expensive. Especially in West Africa. I'm not overgeneralizing. Most time the beginning is always expensive. But can the minister tell us what other alternative is he looking at in the next 5 years to be able to reduce the price of international passports? Because if it's not coming up on how to defend those figures, on how to increase those figures in the next 5 years, then that means it's not sustainable. That means in the next 5 years, it will come and tell us that the price will increase to 500,000. That is my only fear. That is the only fear I'm having. I'm not having the fear that he has increased it to 100,000 or to 200,000. But the fear I'm having is that how many of the ministry directors or permanent secretary or the controller general of immigration can they defend this figure in the next 5 years? And can they tell us that in the next 5 years, these are the ABC they are ready to do for those figures to reduce? If they cannot defend this 100,000 and 200,000 respectively, it means that in the next 5 years, mark my word, they will come back and tell us that the price has increased to 500,000. It's not enough to be lying to us about inflation. Everything is not inflation. Some of these figures are demonic figures, in quotes. Demonic because they are not justifiable. You can't be bringing figures that you cannot justify. You can't be lying on inflation. Are we the only one that inflation is biting the world?
I mean, we have other countries.
So if we are producing our international passport, the question is, are we producing it locally or internationally? I'm very sure we are producing it internationally.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes from. We are still relying on dollars. That is the problem. We are still relying on dollars. If the Minister of Interior can give us templates on how he's ready to decide the technology solution for Nigerian passports in Nigeria and train about 2,000 or 10,000 Nigerian youths on how to manage it in the next 2 years, I can tell you that in the next 3-4 years, the passport figure will reduce to 50,000 naira.
So if we have more,
as long as we are still relying on American, on Chinese to come here and operate those machines, the price will continue to go up. That is my fear.
Okay. So are you saying that if we have more hands locally, I think, our passports, the price of passports would reduce? Is that what you're trying to say? If we have more
absolutely my point. Let's have more producers in Nigeria.
Okay.
About 200 million Nigerians are looking for international passports.
Yes.
How many companies can produce passports in Nigeria? I'm very sure they are less than 3. If they are more than 3, I can bet you. Let Olubumi Tunji Ojo come and confront me and tell me that those countries, they are not importing any part of their machinery into Nigeria. And I will tell him that he's lying to us.
So could it be, could this be themed as a political issue right now? Like, is it linked together?
No. No, everything is not politics. Don't get it mixed up. Everything is not politics. We can't be playing politics with the life of Nigerians. We can be playing politics with the life, with the economy of Nigerians. Let Olubumi Ojo train about 3,000 to 10,000 youths that can build a capacity, a solution for e-passports. From there, let's have the e-passport being decentralized within Nigeria with a 21st century security. Then I can bet you the price will reduce.
We just hope we have such policy.
For instance, look at our fabrics, the fashion industry. Our fabrics is still expensive. Why? We are importing. That is why it's expensive.
You're right, sir.
Bring the machine, fashion designing machine, bring it to Nigeria. Let it be locally assembled. Then from the local assemble, let it be locally manufactured. after we have gone to China, after we have gone to Japan to learn how to assemble all of this machinery, let's bring those Chinese, Americans, Japanese, Germans, let's bring them to Nigeria to come and train average youths in Nigeria on all of this. And that's part of the point I'm making in terms of digital education that we are lacking in Nigeria. What we are having is just online. Let's have a sustainable digital education, a practical digital education, that this is how to couple this machine. This is how to couple this machine. Then what do you think we have? The production cost will reduce. When the production cost reduce, what will happen? The demand and supply will meet themselves at equilibrium point. Yes. And the masses, the citizen will smile to the market. Until we get to that point, we are still deceiving ourselves as a country. So as of today, the Federal Minister of Interior under Olubunmi Ojo, he has not done well 100%. He has done well to increase the technology solution for the e-passports. We can give him a round of applause for that. That I can sit at home and apply for international passport. Yes. And within 3 weeks, I will get it without knowing anybody. That is a plus on his part, because that is his own area of specialization. But what I'm saying is that Olubunmi Ojo should also replicate such knowledge to about 3,000 to 10,000 youths of Nigeria and let them be empowered to carry on this assignment. The price will become reduced and price will become sustainable.
All right, thank you so much. Well, I believe that the youth, Nigerian youth are very, very, very creative, and they are ready to dish out this creativity. But the question is, are we really going to see that that person or that body or that establishment to employ, or or to take in these youth to to implement their skills well? Because if we're going to be having like some Nigerian youth, if we I'm just stating an instance, if we're going to be having some of this Nigerian youth to come in and to be well trained in this, I mean, just like what Okoluwa Taiwa said, Nigeria will be a better place. In fact, we would be so proud of ourselves that other youth in other countries would want to come in here and have more lessons from us, right? Okoluwa Taiwa, I beg your pardon. All right, okay, still on the story. Let me just ask you this question: would this be devoid of further kickbacks from personnel within the immigration? Are you there?
Okay, when we talk about the Nigerian Immigration Service, in Nigeria, I'm happy that at least for the first time, the pressure on the personnel of Nigerian Immigration Service has reduced drastically. Because in the past, the Immigration Service was known to be one of the most fantastically corrupt organization within the federal government. So digitization of that agency under the Federal Ministry of the Interior has made it less lucrative for an average Nigerians. So I can say that the personnel, they have no choice than to play along to the technology innovation that is being upgraded within their sector. So they have to embrace it. So there's no more cutting costs. There's no more roadblock for them. There's no more corruption. There's no more kickback for them. So there's no more settlement for them. All of them, they should go and upgrade themselves in terms of technology. They themselves should what? They should upgrade themselves. So an average personnel within the Nigerian Immigration Service should be technologically savvy. That's what we're talking about. It's not enough to complain about salary. It's not enough to complain about this, to complain about that. You have to upgrade yourself. It's not enough to have MSc without production. MBA without production. Go back and learn the rudiment of technology, of artificial intelligence, because there is no technology in the world now without artificial intelligence.
You're right.
The future is AI. AI is here. AI is today. AI is tomorrow. So everyone within the NIS must be fully empowered and made technologically empowered. They must have the updated information, updated knowledge, not living in the past and blaming the future. The blame game has to stop. So the personnel, they should embrace the future. The future is AI. AI is our new partner for Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Well, just like what you said, AI has come to stay. In fact, this AI is really, I just feel that some people even, in fact, this AI has really been impactful, and, you know, it has its effect and the negative effect, right? Because I've really noticed that some people, you know, I know AI has made the world easy, has made everything easy, but then when you want to, there are some people that if they want to come up with something, they will need to go there to check before even thinking by themselves, you know, doing it. And just what you've rightly said, that, okay, we can actually, these personnel can, you know, upgrade themselves, you know, in terms of technology, and it will really even help them personally, and they won't be lacking behind in anything, right? Okay, I would love to take the last question. And after the last question, I think we'll call it a day, right? Yeah. Okay, so are you still there, Mr. Okpeye?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so very much. Okay, let's look at this question. What is really, or what is it really with President Tinubu using every taxable measure to run the economy and their profligacy? Yeah, profligacy.
Come again.
Okay, the question is, what is it really with President Tinubu using every taxable measure to run the economy and their profligacy? Okay,
I get it now. You know, you're actually pushing me to the angle I wanted to run away from, but
I brought you back.
Apparently, every leader works based on the capacity they have. A man cannot do anything beyond his knowledge. Knowledge is everything.
Yes.
Knowledge is everything. Whatever a leader is doing is according to their capacity. President Tinubu is known to be an accountant. And what is the job of an accountant? Is to maximize profit of an organization. What is the job of an accountant? Is to increase revenue for the organization. And that is what Mr. President is doing, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is why 2027 is coming. If you want to vote for A, what is the capacity, what is the professional background of the person you want to vote for? Politics is beyond sentiment. If you vote for a doctor, he will work as a doctor in the presidency. If you vote for an engineer, he will work as an engineer.
Yes.
And if you vote for a rookie politician also, he will also work as a rookie in the presidency. The answer is very simple.
Okay.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is known to be a man that drives revenue. So, you know, I was part of the people that was telling some of my colleagues and the youth leaders in my community that since we have voted for this man, I hope you understand what this man will do in the next 4 years. And some of them said they don't know what he's going to do. But I told them that I know what he's going to do. They said, what is he going to do? I said, the first thing he's going to do is to increase revenue. And that's what he's doing.
Yes. And
that's why you can see every ministry, department, agency in Nigeria, everything they are doing is what? Revenue. Nothing else. Revenue because of infrastructural development. Revenue in order to block loopholes. revenue to reduce corruption. But apparently, corruption is increasing indirectly. That is the only challenge I am having with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. That is increasing revenue, is generating revenue. For me, is something that is good for any leader to know how to generate revenue for his country or for his parastatal. But ability to curb corruption is another minus for his administration. So generating revenue is not the final solution. Ability to block all the loopholes, all the gap, all the economic gap, all the economic mismanagement, all the maladministration, all the nepotism, all right, all the regionalism within the system, ability to curb those divisions within the Nigerian state, that is what we need. Because Nigeria is a federal state, and we must treat it as once. And don't forget also, in as much as we are pushing blame to Asoro, let's look at our state governors also, to also be able to push in the effects. So if Mr. President is knowledgeable about revenue generation or revenue drive, what is the knowledge of an average governor in Nigeria? That should be the next question. Okay. Because if Mr. President is generating the revenue, apparently he's going to share the revenue among the local governments, among the state governors. Okay. So if the state governors does not understand how to manage resources, how to block corruption, how to retain fiscal policy in a sustainable and a profitable way for their sake, we'll still come back to zero. And that is why everybody is crying. We are all crying because an average state governor does not understand how to maximize economy, how to generate revenue from a zero economy. They do not understand what we call foreign direct investment. They do not understand what we call corporate partnership. They do not understand what we call PPP, public-private partnership. They do not understand what we call off-taking in the agricultural sector of the economy. Until we understand all of these parameters, we will continue to blame Mr. President. Let a professor come 2027 and win the presidency with all of the kind of state governors and local government chairmen that we have in Nigeria as of today. He or she will fail fantastically. It doesn't matter his academic background. What is the background of your state governor? What is the background of your local government chairman? What is the background of every average minister in Nigeria? Every controller general, immigration, custom, NSCDC. What are their background professionally, academically? What is their background?
Right. Very well said.
That is where we are today, and we must not continue to be where we are. We need to move forward in a sustainability way. We need to move forward in intentional development for the Nigeria as a giant of Africa.
All right. Thank you so much, Okoluwa Taiwo. Indeed, it was nice having you on the show, and thanks for your in-depth information. Thank you so much. So, and that's all we have for you on Enterprise Friday. Don't forget to follow us at Enterprise TV 7. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I remain Kehinde Boduri. Bye for now.